more prizes on the podium than I think anyone has in a stage race in their entire life. Lachlan, break it away. Again, we talked on the podium earlier today, but you weren't necessarily the guy that Garmin had picked before the stage. You guys had a lot of cards that you can play. Tell us about what Ryder did to set you up on the climb.
Yeah, Ryder sort of put the pace down early and started to split the field up. And when you've got a guy who won the Giro last year, sort of setting you up, it's pretty incredible. When you have an opportunity like that, I think, and especially as a young rider, you just got to take it. And I did. And yeah, just sort of put my head down and focus on the finish line.
So you were kind of in the dark going up and over the top of Mount Nebo. You didn't have a real good idea of what your time gap was, how much time you had back to the field. We understand you just went as hard as you could and hoped that you could make it to the line.
Yeah, pretty much. When I first went, I could see the group for a while, and I'd ridden up that climb before, but it was a few years ago. I couldn't really remember. I knew I was going fast, so I was like, oh, it's like I can jump to. It's always a good marker. And then when I picked up the last two guys, I figured I wanted to get rid of them before the top, so I sort of went as hard as I could until I got to the KOA. And then there was like a few more rolls that were really difficult. But yeah, it was a lot longer than I thought to the finish. But just what are you going to do? It's like you minute off the front, and you sort of just got to put your head down the right. So that's what I did.
Was there a point where you felt comfortable on the run in, inside of 1K? Did you get any indication that you might have this one wrapped up?
Yeah, it wasn't until 500 meters to go I sort of really realised that I could win. I think Chan came up to me, my director came up to me, 10K to go, and he said, like, you've got a pretty good chance of maybe holding on to this. It's really like, I don't know, it's an sort of thing. So I still wasn't sure, so I just wrote as hard as I could.
Did you think you'd be in the yellow jersey at the end of the stage today? Was that a scenario that ran through your mind?
I wasn't thinking about that at all, really. I was trying to get a win. And I mean, the yellow jersey is a nice bonus. We've still got other cards to play on that team.
So this is still wide open for Garmin?
Yeah, I think so. Which puts me in a nice position, and the other guys are in a good position. So it's an ideal scenario for us.
All right, we look forward to watching you guys defend that yellow jersey. Once again, that's Lachlan Morton in our series leaders jersey. We'll open up to questions if anyone has any.
Would you guys, any of you, talk about that descent and what that was like?
I think it was crazy. I was one of the guys that went off the road there, kind of halfway down. I luckily had some intel, local intel from Jeff Lauder, my teammate. He tried to give us a few heads up, a few warnings about the descent. He said to watch out for gravel. There's a lot tighter corners than you think. They kind of turn in on themselves. It was ripping fast. And some guys, like, when I went off the road with it, just because some other guys did in front of me, you got to kind of make sure you don't go down and just ride up the gravel. Got back on no problem. But it was a tricky descent. It was super fast, more so than I thought. I think after like a couple guys almost crashed, there was a little bit of hesitation. Probably pretty good for this guy. It was some guys kind of backed off, just thinking we don't really know what's around the next corner.
What about you being by yourself? Is it?
I love the ones that got tired. When you're by yourself, it's a lot better when it's technical because you can go almost as fast as the march. So at the top it was quite open, which I didn't like because you lose a lot of time, especially if it's a bit windy. When it gets moving behind, it's really quick. And yeah, I had no idea what was in front, but I was probably good because I was with yeah, there's a few where it tightened up a bit, but it was fine.
Can I ask another one?
Lachlan, you're on a team full of some of the sport's biggest stars. What does it mean to you to be able to have this win, riding with guys like Dave and Christian and Tom?
It's incredible. I mean, the guys